Hello guys, and welcome back to the series. Welcome back to Football Manager 2023 with me, your host Dean, and welcome back to our epic quest across Europe to win every top flight division in the European nations in the game. We finally made it to nation number 24, which is Serbia. Unfortunately, we didn't get into one of the top three sides in the league. We're actually the manager of Vojvodina, if I'm saying that correctly. Maybe not. We're about halfway through the next season. We did obviously stay on as the manager of Dinamo Kiev. We're doing quite well as well with Dinamo Kiev. Contract did expire. I was on a rolling contract, so there was nothing to worry about there. But so we've moved to Vojvodina. It was the first job that became available in the Serbian top flight, which, as we know in this save, that's the rule that we have. We have to accept the first job that does become available. So Vojvodina, here we are in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate. Dean Talentar has left Dinamo Kiev to join Vojvodina. Talentar arrives with a record of 1,403 wins, which is absolutely amazing. 31 league titles and 20 cups as well. First game in charge will be against Napredak in the Super League on the 7th of December, so you can see just how far we have advanced since you were last with us. We're looking to bring immediate success to Karadorde, having stepped up from his previous stand-in to take sole charge. We'll need to hit the ground running. We weren't the favourites again for whatever reason, but Dinamo Kiev will now be looking for a new manager. Despite pre-season hopes of a top half finish in the league, Vojvodina currently find themselves down in 13th place in the Super League table. They've only won one of the last 5 games as well, so they're a club in a little bit of trouble as things go. We're predicted to finish in 6th place. We do have some trophies throughout the club's history, which is good. Founded in 1914. Financially, we're not in the best place. It's a step down again for us from Dinamo Kiev. We'll meet the players in a minute. We'll go through the players in a minute. But the board expects us this season to avoid relegation from the Super League and also be competitive in the Europa Conference League. So it looks like we're in Europe as a club struggling down in 13th place in the league. It's possibly why they are struggling down in 13th place, because they are in Europe. But going over the squad, I haven't done the kits yet. Obviously, that's something that I will do between now and the next episode. We do have a little bit of money in the bank. We are currently losing money this season, though, and we're slightly over the wage budget as well of £57,000, which is not a lot really, is it? We do have some transfer budget, though. Fairly small stadium at 15,000 capacity. Like we say, they are on a poor run of form. They do have one Serbian league title, and it was in 2058, so 22 years ago now. We're in 2080. We're 95 years old now. As a manager, I should maybe make my beard and my hair a little bit grey, update my picture. Our key players believed to be Admir Petrovic, valued between 1.2 and 1.8 million pounds. He's absolutely terrible as an inside forward on attack, which is the position that he will be playing in. He can't finish at all. Thankfully, he's got some pace and some dribbling, so hopefully he can do a little bit for us as far as that's concerned. But he's only actually he's made 19. He's made 2 in the Conference League. 1.4k a week, 28-year-old Serbian. Now, I haven't looked at the league rules or anything like that yet, so that is something that we're going to have to go over. In terms of the squad itself, we've got Petrovic up there at the top. We've got Herbert Janssen, who is also Serbian. He's a winger on the left-hand side. He looks slightly better than the right-hand side guy. This guy can finish. He's got great agility and pace again, so he can definitely do a job for us. Obviously, like with most of the nations, we'll probably be looking to just build something at Vojvodina and then move on to one of the big clubs when it does become available. We've got Pavel Miroshnikov, if I'm saying that correctly, a Belarusian defensive midfielder as well. He could definitely do a job for us, formerly of Sharktar Soligorsk. Not too disheartened there. Volkan Gul, another defensive midfielder. He could potentially be a segundo volante for us. Yeah, pretty much. So there's a few okay players here. We seem to have quite a large squad. A very large squad. Let's have a look at the league table and have a look at the rules as well. You can see we're currently down in 13th place. Obviously, the red and the blue denote the two where the league splits after 30 games, I believe it is. So we've got 11 games. We're only a point behind that top group, which is obviously where we're going to be aiming for Yeah, Partizan at the top, Crvena Zvezda 2 points behind them, and then you got Kukariki not too far behind either, the three big clubs in Serbia. So none of their jobs became available, which is why we're here. In terms of the season preview, we are predicted to finish 7th at 51s, which is not too bad. Not too bad. Obviously, that's tied with 4th place there. So there is potential in this squad for us to do something as a human manager and with our tactic as well. In terms of the league rules, we do have a preliminary phase, which is 30 games. Teams play each other twice. Top 8 go into final phase Group A. Bottom 8 go into final phase Group B. The final phases, there's 7 games in the top one. Obviously, the winner of that top group becomes the champion. And there's 7 games in the lower phase as well. Positions 7 and 8 are relegated. 5th and 6th go into a playoff with the teams in the lower division. So it's not too bad there in terms of league rules to understand. Match squad must have no more than 4 foreign EU players, which is fine. EU's, there's a lot of nations in the EU. Match squad must have at least 2 domestic under 21 players, so they can be bench players that have come through the youth system. Must be at least 1 Serbian under 21 in the playing 11, so I actually have to have an under 21 Serbian on the pitch at all times. Domestic players under 19 are automatically eligible to play. Yeah, that's fine. In terms of registration rules, let's have a look. Squad registration. Maximum squad size of 30 players. Other than that, there's no limitations. So I've just got a maximum squad size of 30 players. I have to play a Serbian in the match day 11 who is under the age of 21. Obviously to promote the youth system here in Serbia. Let's have a look at how the season's gone for them. Very badly. Very badly. They opened the season with a win. After that, we had all of that without a win. That's quite badly. They have picked up a little bit recently, to be fair. I'm surprised the manager got the sack after that little run of form, having picked up. We are going to take on our first game today, though. It is about 2 weeks away, so I'm going to get myself settled into the squad, set the tactic up, stuff like that. Obviously, pick some players, see how we get on. How are we doing in... We're out of the Europa Conference League. We got knocked out in qualifying by one of our former sides in Bran. Okay, so we're out of that. So we've solely got the league to focus on. We've got a cup game all the way down here, which we're not too bothered about in terms of the cup. So I'm going to go through those 2 weeks now till that game. We'll come back, we'll take on Napredek, and we'll wrap up the episode where I'll probably play until the end of the regular season. We'll come back and see exactly which group we're in, take on a couple of games there. So I'll catch up with you guys again in just a minute. Right, guys, welcome back. We've made it to the first game of the season, away to Napredek, who currently find themselves in 3rd position in the table. Of course, we don't know the squad. Like I always said, when we come into a new team, we go over to here, pick without restriction, pick best 11. We get our assistant to pick the first best 11 that we do, and then I sort of work it out from there onwards. So the lineup that we have gone for today, our first lineup as the manager of Vojvodina, is going to be Pajic in goal. Dejan Pajic, I believe it's pronounced. A 26-year-old Serbian, looks like a very, very good goalkeeper, which is pleasing to see. 9 conceded in 9 appearances in the league so far this season. The right back for today is going to be Abdul Rahman Mohammed. Looks reasonable, looks capable of playing as that wing back on support for us. Yeah, looks quite decent there. Yeah, quite pleased with him. On the other side, we're going to have Juricic, Stefan Juricic, another Serbian in the squad, which is good to see. Again, looks reasonable. His crossing could be do with being a little bit better. But again, he's got some decent pace, he's decent defensively as well. So yeah, pleased with the 2 wing backs. Kovac is going to be one of the centre halves for today, a 32-year-old Serbian, so getting on a little bit in terms of as a ball playing defender. His passing technique, first touch could do with being a little bit better, but he's very, very, very good defensively. Sort of maybe getting to the end of his career now though. So that could be an area for improvement. We've got Ratkovic, who's actually back in training in 4 days. So we may have to take Ratkovic out of the squad, which means we're going to put Nikolic in. He's the next available player there. Looks poor. Looks very poor. 35-year-old Serbian, so he is at the end of his career. Yeah. He's possibly going to, when's his contract expire? The end of the season. So he's possibly going to leave the club at the end of the season when his contract does expire. He's not a great defender, but it's what we've got. Defensive midfield on to on defend for today is going to be Pavel Miroshnikov. Looks quite capable of playing as that defensive midfielder. He's got some great defensive attributes. He's got fairly decent pace. There's lots of greens that I'm seeing in his attributes, basically, other than his composure, which does let him down a little bit. 26-year-old Belarusian. Of course, we've had a look at Pavel already. One of the first of the Segundo Volantes today is probably not suited to being a Segundo Volante, but he's not overly bad in Tamas Coxis. Area for improvement, again, that's one of those positions on the pitch, guys, which you do have to sort of keep an eye out for. Remember, with the Segundo Volantes, it's both a defensive and an attacking role, so you need players who are good with both of those. This one's very, very good defensively, maybe not so good going forward. Volkan on the other side is probably the same sort of story. Again, more of a defensive sort of player as opposed to a Segundo Volante. Not too bad going forward, but his finishing is a little bit poor. But it is what we've got. It's just one of those positions that are a little bit funny to get right. We've got Petrovic on the right-hand side. Of course, the vice-captain, considered to be the best player at the club. For an inside forward on attack, we've already had a look at this. We know he can't finish, basically, but his agility, his pace, his dribbling, his first touch are all really, really good. So maybe we'll get a few goals out of him. He's got 3 in 19 in the league so far this season, and 15 in 78 for the club, which is not great. Janssen on the other side, Herbert Janssen, Serbian, very Serbian name, Herbert Janssen, isn't he? I wonder if he's got another nationality. Belgian. It's still not a very Belgian name, is it, Herbert Janssen? But he's on the left-hand side as that inside forward, slightly better at finishing. Again, got loads of agility, loads of pace. So in terms of wingers, we're looking really good. I might actually change them to maybe these inverted wingers. Then the finishing is not so much of an issue. That might be something that I do. And up top we've got Mezherosh, a 22-year-old Hungarian, as the main striker in the squad. Again, not too bad. He's got decent pace, decent acceleration. He's got good ball control. Passing could do with being a little bit better. Finishing is not exactly great. Decisions, again, anticipation, not amazing. But it's what we've got. But he's got 1 goal in 5 games in the league. So, guys, that's our first lineup as the manager of Vojvodina. We're going to hopefully pick up a point against Napredek. We are expected to draw against them, both by the board and the fans, which, as our first game in charge, they're 3rd in the league. We're down near the bottom somewhere. I've forgotten exactly where we are. 13th, I believe, 14th. You can see here, Napredek, they're only 7 points off the top. There's quite a bit of a gulf in the two teams this season. It doesn't look like I've got an assistant manager either, because I've got no recommendations for my team talk. So we'll just pick one and we'll tell them all we've got trust and faith in them. I do have an assistant. He just doesn't want to give me any information. So first lineup of the season, guys, for us. I did get the kits done as well. I got them done. It's been a couple of days since I recorded the first part of this episode. We're in our away kit, the grey away kit today. You can see them down here, the 2 kits that we've got in there for the 2 teams. Hopefully we can make a good start here, though, and it is Nikolic finding Miroshnikov. Nikolic again to Jurcic. Give me a little while to get used to the names again, guys. Miroshnikov finding Jensen into Mezherosh. Good turn, finds Coxis. Coxis with the first effort of the game for Vojvodina, and unfortunately it is blocked by a combination of the defender and the goalkeeper. And now Napredek looking to take advantage with Davidovic on the right-hand side. Gets to the byline, checks back onto his left foot, comes back to Ivic into the area towards Tomic. They've worked that really nicely. Pajic had no idea where the ball had gone there, the goalkeeper. But he did manage to get behind for a corner, which is good. It's going to be Lakisevic to take the corner. It's a deep one. The goalkeeper has come well. He's claimed that one really, really well and clutches it into his chest. And now it's us with the corner. We're still inside the first 10 minutes here. It's going to be Petrovic to take the corner. It's towards that near post. We don't get our head on it. It's headed clear by the defender, but we're still going to pick up the second ball with Janssen into Coxis with the effort. It's curled just over the top of the crossbar. Encouraging start, though, by Vojvodina. And we're looking to keep the pressure on here with Milovanovic with the goal kick to Zikovic. Tomic again. They've actually played the way out of the defence really, really well. And now it's Weber to Popovic on the left-hand side, looking to take it past his man. He's forced back instead. And they've managed to work their way out of that little press that we had on there really nicely. Zivkovic finding Milosevic. Two central defenders passing it around between themselves. He's gone long, but he's given the ball straight back to his Juric. Heads that one down, and now he gets the ball back, brings it out, finds it Janssen. Janssen cuts inside, looks to take it past his man. He does really well. He's got the fullback out on the right hand side there. Mohamed. Can Mohamed deliver? It's blocked. Koksic not going to get there. He does get there. Just ahead of Tomcic. And he feeds it into Petrovic. Forward towards Mesheroj. Can he get the ball in the back of the net? He can. He's opened the scoring for us here for Vojvodina. Of course, it wouldn't be Football Manager without a VAR check, though, would it? But it does look like the goal's been given. This is our first goal as the Vojvodina manager. We've worked it really well. It's a good ball forward by both the players there. There was no question of offside there. It's a good finish by Mesheros, though, the Hungarian. Sat the goalkeeper down, just calmly stroked it into the back of the net. So 1-0 to Vojvodina. We're approaching half-time now, and it is still 1-0. It's Kovac with the ball, fiending Nikolic. Nikolic goes long, looking for Mesheroj. Can't get there. It's won in the air by Designer. Now Ivic. Tomic. Desinga again. Tomic. Zivkovic. They're looking to play the way out of trouble again. That's a poor pass, though, but that's not a header that we need to do. But Volkan does get there, and it's Jurcic bringing the ball forward again for Vojvodina. It's good ball forward towards Jensen, who's in behind. The defenders got back. I thought there was possibly a foul there, but the defenders did really well to get back, and the goalkeeper was looking to get Weber away there early, but well defended by Vojvodina. So at half-time, guys, in our first game in charge of Vojvodina, we are leading by a 0-0. We're playing better as well, which is always good to see. Into the second half, we've made a good challenge there, and the ball's broken for Petrovic, who's streaking away down the right-hand side. Comes square to Volkan. Volkan feeding Mesheros. Mesheros with the effort. It's a poor one from distance there, not really troubling the goalkeeper at all, but still it's encouraging that we're pressing the ball off Napredek, and we're getting into these positions to get the shots away. Into the final 20 minutes, and it is Napredek with the free kick. It's looking for Weber. It's a harmless header, though, that's gone over the bar. We've made one little tweak, which is something I said I was going to do at the start of the game. We've switched Janssen up to a winger, so he is hopefully going to take advantage of the fact that he's not a very good finisher, and he's got that pace and get down the line and get some crosses into the box for Mesheros to get onto. He's on a 6.2, though, so he's not had the best of first games in charge for us. But into the final couple of minutes, it doesn't look like it's going to matter. We're going to pick up a fantastic away win here in our first game in charge, which indeed we do. Mesheros picking up the Man of the Match award, a 7.9 rating. A little bit disappointed with how Janssen's played, though. Obviously, that's something for us to work on. The rest of the team played really, really well, which is pleasing to see, and we picked up a win in our first game in charge. So what that's done for us, guys, after our first game as the manager of Vojvodina, is we've moved up one position to 13th, onto 22 points from 20 games and -1 goal difference. Obviously, our aim for this season is to get into that top half of the table. We're only 4 points off it. It's something I think we can do. There's 10 games left of the regular season, so I'm going to go away and play them off camera now, and we'll come back when the league splits, and we'll find out exactly which league we're in. Hopefully we're in that top half of the table. Like I say, Partizan there have got a 4-point cushion to Crvena Zvezda, who did draw the game. I just learned as well when I was doing the kits that Crvena Zvezda are actually Red Star Belgrade, which is how I better know them, as Red Star Belgrade. Crvena Zvezda, obviously something happened to Red Star Belgrade and they've renamed themselves to Crvena Zvezda. So, yeah, the Red Star Belgrade to me. They've still got the badge of Red Star Belgrade. So, yeah. Right, 10 games left of the regular season. Like I say, I'm going to go away and play them now. We should get into that top half of the table, hopefully. Yeah, and we'll come back once the league split. Little bits of a surprise for you to see which half of the table that we're going to be in. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Are we going to finish the top half of the table or bottom half of the table? Which are we going to be in the championship group or the relegation group? Let me know what you think in the comments. But guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, please remember to hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help me out massively, like you all know. Yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode. So, see you later, guys.